Jubilee Films presents an exclusive interview with Dr. J. Alexander IAS, retired Chief Secretary and former Cabinet Minister of Karnataka.
See, after retirement, normally what do you do after you retire? You read Deccan Herald 2 or 3 times, and if the wife is around, you can fight with your wife and go for a walk. That is what many people will do after retirement. But after retirement, it was purely by accident. I don't want to mention the name, a name of a person who wanted my help to speak to Mr. Jafar Sharif, the then MP, to give him a chance to contest. So I took a person to Jafar Sharif saying that I know him, he wants to contest election, please help him. And Jafar Sharif tells me, Alexander, I want you to contest. I said, no, I have no intention of contesting. I have no intention. No, I want you to contest. I have been watching you. You have been commissioner of the city corporation, you are in BDA, you are water supply board, in all these posts where public contact is there. I know your acceptability in Bangalore. Therefore, I want you to contest. That is why he came into politics. And then the questions were asked. Many people started asking me, sir, you were enjoying the highest office in the government, all prestige and power, and Mr. Bangarappa gave me entire running of the administration and finance secretary, BDA chairman, all these. Why do you want to leave that and come and beg for votes before all these people? Something has gone wrong with you? This was the question many of my friends and colleagues asked me. Why do you want to leave, come to politics after being a civil servant for 33 years, occupying very important positions of respect and honor, power? My answer was, of all the forms of government that people have tried, democracy is the best form of government, no doubt about it, because it allows the human mind to flower. That is the beauty of democracy. And if democracy has to succeed, you must have politics. You must have politicians. It is Dr. Johnson who said, politics is the last resort of a scoundrel. Very strong word he said. Politics is the last resort of a scoundrel. We should not allow politics in our democracy to be the last resort of scoundrels. We should allow politics to be an area where decent people who have love for the country, love for the people, love for the constitution, must also join politics. So I said I joined politics and started to be an MLA, knowing fully well that I was chief secretary once, I was cabinet secretary, and I'm only knowing fully well to give a message that politics is not bad.
You also had your photos in their house. Can you tell us that story, sir? When you went for canvassing?
No, that is because, you see, when I was commissioner of the city corporation, there was a slum called Murphy Town. Most of the people were weaker sections, who were working in the houses and kitchens of British people. They were given houses, but not on a regular basis. They were like tenants, paying corporation tax. I regularized all those houses during the time when I was commissioner in 78-80. I had no intention of contesting election, now 80. And naturally, they were waiting for some rights for their houses. So they kept the commissioner's photo in their houses, I know that. And so in some houses where, when I went asking for votes, they said, sir, your photo is here. That is again a matter of satisfaction, I told you. In fact, I had an opportunity to be the chairman of the Leather Industries Corporation. One of the jobs which I had, Lidcar. When I was chairman of the Lidcar, we used to go around and we found these shoe workers sitting on the street and doing these repairs, So I got a scheme. When I was commissioner of the corporation, I was holding additional charge. So as commissioner, I had authority to allot the footpaths, So for the first time, I allotted 30 sites in Bangalore city on the footpaths for shoe workers. So the first one was inaugurated by me opposite to Mysore Bank. And that person, again, once we went there, he kept my photograph. I said, please remove this. I don't want any publicity. I want you to do well. Because this fellow who was sitting under a tree and doing this suddenly had a place, and he kept a chair outside for people to come and sit. He had a reputation of a good show. So this kind of opportunities I had, of serving, which we normally don't get in other. Today they won't remember. I'm not interested. Who started this scheme and all that. Even here, Indiranagar, we have that place was given by me. Footpath. People criticize me. You are allowing footpaths to be given to shoe workers. I said they are making living. They are making honorable living out of that. So it's all an attitude, attitude. So that is my life. So from a very ordinary family, from an ordinary village, without any opportunities to see a IAS officer. There was no IAS officer from my village. I had not seen an IAS officer. The first time I saw an IAS officer was in the college when the collector came. Okay. So, but what I am trying to say is, you have seen a girl, what exposure did she have? Determination. Some motivation came and the determination pushed her. So, my case is an example to tell people that anybody who has a desire and ambition and grace of God, I believe in God very strongly, and grace of God can go up. So then I did not want to be in politics, but I accepted that and first time IAS, first time I took the examination, I got elected. First time I got into politics, I got elected. And I became a cabinet minister because they have to give me ministership. I was cabinet secretary. I was sitting along with all these ministers and guiding them in the cabinet meeting. So they gave me cabinet ministership straight away, MLA and cabinet minister. And then I was in charge of tourism. And I worked with S.M. Krishna, a very, very fine chief minister, very cultured chief minister. So I had a wonderful time as tourism minister and as MLA of this area. So that was a beautiful experience to me. Even today, people come for little work, recommendation, suggestion, and all that, So I am actively involved. I am not retired. No. So somebody asked me, see, I am going to be 82 in August, on the 8th of August. 82 on 8th of August. Somebody asked me, how is it that you are running around? I said, I have no time to grow old. You must have time, to think, guys, how old are you and all that. I don't have time. I keep myself extremely busy with so many activities. I am associated with some colleges as a board member. Today, according to the company law board rules, every listed company must have 2 or 3 independent directors, people who are not members of the family or who have no stakes there, but who have experience to guide and direct. Independent director, that is a scheme. So one can be there in maximum 20 companies. I am on 20 companies of board as board member, where you use your experience to guide and help them. In some companies I am the chairman, so that keeps me active. Social work, there is a YMCA, Bangalore YMCA, you must have heard about that. Young Men's Christian Association. When you say Young Men's Christian Association, people may think it is a Christian religious organization. It is not. And I always say, you don't have to be young physically to be a member. I am 82, I am the president of Bangalore YMCA, Young Men's Christian. You don't have to be men, because there are women also members. You don't have to be Christian by religion, because out of our membership, 70% of the members are non-Christians. It is an organization which was started in London after the Industrial Revolution, where a few Christian young people joined together and saw the misery of people coming from villages to the town, their unhygienic conditions of living, exploitation by women. And they said, we are Christians, we have faith, believe in love and compassion. let us come together and do something good for these people. And that organization became one of the biggest NGOs in the world today. In 125 countries it is spread. They are working among the youth, development of the youth, total development, sports and things like that. Some people, when the moment they think of YMCA, they think about badminton, swimming pool, hostel and all that. But basically it is an organization directing its activities for the total development of youth for the community's welfare. I have been the president of Bangalore YMCA for the last 30 years. In all these years of my service and all that, they have been unanimously elected. Every 3 years they elect, I have been elected for them. And from this, I became the national president of the YMCAs of India. We have 1,500 YMCAs spread all over the country. So that is one aspect of getting involved in community service. There is a body called Indian Council of Social Welfare. I am the president of the Bangalore chapter, and I was once the national president. So that way, activities on the boards, management board side, activities on the social welfare side. Then on the club, the Indiranagar club today is one of the best clubs in Bangalore. The land for that club was given by me as commissioner. In fact, that was the last decision before handing over charge as commissioner. Some of my colleagues, officers came and said, "Sir, we must have a club in Bangalore, in Indiranagar." I asked them, "Do you think the Indiranagar club will develop? People will come to Indiranagar club?" He said, "We will try." And we were 10 founding members, all officers. We were told to collect 10 members each, 200 rupees as the fees. And I went about canvassing membership on this road. And for some people, I paid the 200 rupees and made them member. They gave us later. Today, membership is 15 lakhs rupees and 15 years waiting. Club is one of the... So what do you think is a seed which you have an opportunity to sow a seed. The present list members may not even know who gave the land, that is not important. But you have a satisfaction that in your service you have been able to be instrumental in providing an opportunity for cultural development of people in an area. Okay? These trees which you hide, these big trees, which flowering trees. When I was commissioner, I planted as sticks.
Okay.
Sticks. And they should say, "What is this? Commissioner has come and planted sticks before us." I said, "These sticks will one day flower if you take care of that." I am saying it's not to praise my achievement. What I am trying to say is, our service gives opportunities of satisfaction after you leave the service. Okay.
Sir, you were the tourism minister, and as a impact of COVID-19, we know the tourism industry is completely shattered. And what would you like to tell about the tourism sector, tourism industry right now? What is the future of tourism?
No, this pandemic that is now worrying all of us throughout the world is hitting all sectors of economic activity. And the worst hit area will be tourism, because people will be scared to move out and travel. But you already see signs of how people are taking it in the stride and saying, "Oh, COVID, yes, COVID is there, but we have to live with it. We have to live with it." So that attitude is going on, and it will pick up, but it will not. It will take quite some time before tourism gains the strength which it had earlier, because we are hopeful that some remedy, some medicine will be found, because the human brain is such that we'll be able to find. Somebody once asked a scientist, "What will happen if all the resources of the world are exhausted? What will happen?" Water can be exhausted, petrol can be exhausted, wood can be exhausted, all the resources are exhausted. What will happen? The scientist said, the human brain. The human brain will remain. You'll find some solution. In fact, last 2 months back, I was in Japan. I had an opportunity to visit an office where the entire requirement of drinking water of that office, about 50 to 60 people, is from the air.
Okay.
They have a machine of the size of a refrigerator, kept in the fridge, and from there water was taken, and then it is not commercialized. A time will come when you keep a machine here and you don't require a borewell or anything like that. You have your water. So it's not far off. I have seen it myself. How one office is completely depending upon one machine. Okay, so that is the power of the human brain.
One last question, sir. This is my personal question. Due to this pandemic, all the schools and colleges are shut down, and we are forced to take online classes. There is no other go. So it is my experience, it is not very effective. The online teaching is not effective, that very effective. So what would you like to tell about that?
It is. I agree with you that it is not as effective as the communication between the teacher and the students.
Yeah.
But then over a period of time, we will live with that. We will adjust that. If that is going to be the essential thing, we will adjust with that. See, now for the last 1 month, I have been attending board meetings of companies I mentioned you on webinar,
Okay.
on Zoom.
So,
Initially it was difficult, but now it has become normal. I have no problem. So I am sure people will adjust. How we adjust to the capacity of human beings to adapt is what has kept humanity like this so far. So let us hope that solutions will be found. Never despair. We shall overcome. You have that. We shall overcome someday, deep in my heart.
so I've heard that you're a very good singer and you speak very good Kannada. Could you sing few lines for the audience?
No, I am not a very good singer, but I sing for myself. Of course.
That is enough, sir. Please sing any song.
Oh no! What Kannada song?
Any song of your choice, sir. Kannada would be better.
I will. I'm sing a few lines from a Kannada folk song, which I learned when I was DC Dharwar in North Karnataka. I learned it because it has got a message, a rhythm and a message. It is a song called Ashada Masa Banditava. You have heard this song?
Yes,
It is a popular folk song in the northern part of Karnataka. Ashada Masa Banditava Anna Baralilla Karayake Anna Baralilla Karayake Rotti Butti Katti Kundu Yettina Bandi Yeri Kundu Rotti Butti Katti Kundu Yettina Bandi Yeri Kundu Anna Baralilla Karayake Anna Baralilla Karayake Ashada Masa Banditava Anna Baralilla Karayake Anna Baralilla Karayake. The next two lines are very important because it conveys a beautiful message. Hindina Hottu Hinde Irali Mundina Hottu Inde Barali Hindina Hottu Hinde Irali Mundina Hottu Inde Barali Anna Baralilla Karayake Anna Baralilla Karayake Ashada Masa Banditava Anna Baralilla Karayake Anna Baralilla Karayake.
Very nice.
That Hindina Hottu Hinde Irali Mundina Hottu Inde Barali. Let bygones be bygones. Let the past be past. Bury the past. Let the future you dream come today. What a beautiful myth.
It was very informative, sir. Thank you so much for your time. It was wonderful talking to you. Thank you.
I am also happy for this opportunity. Thank you very much.
If you liked our program, please Please do like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you.